What's going on, everyone? This is Kane Michael here with Magnetic Mag. It's day 5, I think, Friday. I don't know what day it is anymore. It's all a blur at this point. But I'm sitting here with what seems to be the man of the conference. I'm a big fan of this guy. Love everything he does. Of course, Mr. Joris Voorn. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I'm sorry for this. I apologize if I didn't. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for the kind words as well. It's been a very good conference so far.
What day did you get in?
I got in on Tuesday, I believe, Tuesday night, which was a quiet one. And then yesterday I played at Pitong and then Paradise as well. And then I did my own nights Wednesday at Do Not Sit on the Furniture.
We were at all 3 of them, and every set was great. And actually, that's one thing I want to point out is that every set that I saw of you was different. And I think that's so important because, you know, some of these guys that are playing, they kind of tend to play very similar sets, but every time you played, it fit the atmosphere perfectly, which is so crucial, you know?
You know, to be honest, I think that's the most important thing, to be able to be flexible and versatile and like look at the crowd and the mood and see kind of where to take it. I mean, on Wednesday I had my own night, so I could just play anything I wanted, which I can basically always, but still, like I can go a bit deeper than when I'm playing Paradise, and the people are expecting a more like uplifting party kind of vibe. Something that I will bring on my own night as well, but maybe just a little bit later in the night. So yeah.
And so you went back to back with Kolsch, yeah? How was that?
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good friend, and musically we are different, but we also have a very nice overlap. So playing with him is always a lot of fun.
And I feel like back to backs, especially when it's like you said, you're kind of different but similar at the same time, it kind of makes you push yourself as a DJ a little bit harder, yeah?
It does, and also you have to kind of adapt to what someone else is playing, which might not be a track that you have in your own collection or might even play, you know. So it's a challenge finding the right mix. But with Kolsch, it goes really like without any
no hiccups.
Yeah, no hiccups, not many at least, no.
So some really big news coming out of your camp is your new full spectrum thing. Where did the concept for this come from, and how has it been so far?
Spectrum is a night I'm launching this year. I actually launched it in Amsterdam earlier this year, and it's about that very thing that we were just talking about, which is the wide spectrum of music. I love anything from house to techno and everything in between as well. And I would like to be able to play that music on the nights that I promote, and also book artists that fit that, which could be pretty much anyone that I respect musically.
So is it you doing extended sets, or like open to close, or is it you having all the other artists come as well, or is it both?
It is, again, it's a combination of these things as well. Sometimes when it's a smaller, intimate club, I could play a longer set, like basically like last Wednesday. When it's a bigger stage and we need more headliners, or we need a bit of a bigger lineup, then we can, I play a shorter set. But then the wide spectrum of music you will find in the way that we program the night. So that's really what it's about. It's not like we book 5 or 6 DJs that all kind of play the same tracks from the same labels. We try to make a very colorful lineup.
So how long have you been coming to Miami?
I think this is my 8th year.
And in those 8 years, what have you seen change, and what has kind of stayed the same?
I think things have changed quite a lot. I mean, I didn't come here since the very beginning, and I think I can't even imagine how different it is nowadays. But even 8 years ago, there was a lot less parties, first of all. There were different clubs. I see a shift in clubs that are important. Like, it moves from one year to another. And, of course, Ultra nowadays is kind of taking a big piece of the cake. So... But I think the vibe and the mood at the parties is actually really good still. I'm still very happy to see that so many people come and listen to everyone playing this week. Like still a lot of South Americans, of course, a lot of Americans, Canadians. Maybe not so many Europeans anymore that take the flight to come here. So maybe it's also because there's a lot happening in Europe at the moment. We have Amsterdam Dance Event, obviously, which is from the city where I'm from. And many other things, but it's still going very strong here.
So what would you say is the main difference between WMC or Miami Music Week and ADE?
The weather.
The weather.
Of course, the weather. It does make a big difference. We don't have any pool parties in Amsterdam, you know? We don't really have any pools in Amsterdam. There's no point. Like the Amsterdam, the ADE is organized originally from the government. And it grew into something really, really big. And it's very well organized with a very good program as well. So there's a lot of good lectures. There's a lot of good, it's a real conference. And I think that's maybe what Miami is not so much anymore, which is fine. That's totally cool. I mean, why would you go sit in a conference room when you have this, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like a giant vacation for everybody, yeah?
Exactly. That's kind of the difference. There's still a lot of very good parties on both Amsterdam Dance Event and Miami.
So you've played 3 times so far. Are you playing anywhere else this week?
Yeah, I'm playing tonight for Pete Tong and Mint, and then tomorrow for Dirty Bird at Delano, I think.
Oh, you're playing at the Dirty Bird?
Yes, yeah, the Birdhouse.
That's random, but really cool.
You know, I think Claude is a really is a great guy. I know him for quite some time, and you know, if there's a mutual respect and you love what you do, even though you don't play the same tracks necessarily, like. I think it's nice to invite each other to these kind of things, and as we spoke about twice already, I'm quite a versatile DJ, so I can actually fit in. I'm a bit like a chameleon, music-wise, so I will fit in perfectly.
It's random, but it's really cool, and I think it'll be a good show.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, the Dirty Bird fans are really, really into it. So let's talk about new music. Do you have any new music coming out that we should be aware of?
Always. I have a new techno EP coming out on my own Green Records, which is called I Ran the Zoo. I think it's coming out in May. It's been finished for a while. I've been playing it for a long time, and also last night at the Pete Tong party. Actually, it's fairly techno, so it's kind of going back to my roots. And then I have a collaboration with Kolsch coming up. Also a track that's been in the pipeline for a long time, and we've been playing it a lot. And then some remixes, a remix for Ryex, which is just finished and coming out in a few weeks as well. I'm remixing an American band called Low Moon, and many other things. Yeah.
This really seems to be a big year, or this kind of last year and this year already seems like this is really just starting to really gain some traction on what you're doing. How is that feeling for you?
You know, I'm just doing what I'm doing, and sometimes things organically go very smoothly, and the right projects come on the way, and you're kind of in the right vibe of doing things. I don't know. Also, music-wise, in the studio, I feel quite comfortable, and I also feel a lot of fun in making new tracks. And I've always loved making music, but you know, sometimes it's just you don't have the energy or the right inspiration, and at the moment, things are all kind of aligned.
It's actually a good thing that I want to talk about. So, you know, you've been making a lot of music for a long time now. When it comes time to where you're like, all right, I need to sit down and make a track, and it's just not coming out, it's just not working. What do you do to kind of get over that creative hump and kind of get yourself back in the game?
You know, it doesn't always work. Like sometimes you just have to accept that it's not going to happen that day, which is okay, and then maybe try it the next day. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Just keep trying. If it's not working, just slowly keep at it. Yeah.
You know, you also not be afraid to just make something and throw it away at the end of the day, because that's possible that will happen. Kind of force yourself in a way, but don't try to overdo it, because it has to stay fun. If you don't make music in a good spirit, then it's probably not going to be good music in the first place.
So when it's like I said, you've been making music for quite a while now. What has changed and what has stayed the same in your approach to making music? Obviously, you know, you gain more experience, you learn new things, but at the same time, there's still some things that you've carried since the beginning. What are some of those things?
I would say it's some kind of chords, transitions, and sound aesthetics that you always carry along with you, even though they change from time to time. And of course, you kind of have to adapt knowingly or unknowingly to the current sound. I mean, you have to find your place in the ever-changing world of music, and that can challenge you, but it can be an inspiration as well. So that's very important. You know, try to remain who you are and remain your musical identity, but also try to fit in with the new styles and the new artists as well.
That kind of touches on my last question, which is for a new producer or DJ that wants to kind of do what you're doing, what is your one piece of advice that you think that they should know?
I always say try to be yourself. Don't be a copycat. Of course, you can try to copy someone or like one of your favorite artists as a practice or something. But in the end, it's really about standing out. And you're not going to be standing out if you're a copy of someone else. Really be original, be yourself, try to follow your heart. I mean, all the cliches, they're all true.
And once again, you're playing tonight at Mint for the Pete Tong party, correct?
Yeah, Mint, yeah.
What time?
I think around midnight. So it's going to be quite easy, you know, like I'm going to be in bed by 2 or something.
In bed by 2. Strong man here, strong man. So yeah, Mint tonight. Once again, I'm King Michael. This is Joris Voorn. Thank you so much for talking to us. Had a great time.
Thank you, man. It's always a pleasure.